There we go. All right, perfect. All right, yes. As I said before, I'm excited about this boot camp, especially when it comes to watching everybody be able to advance in creating their own personal brands. It is my hope that you're going to take, the session and apply it directly to your business to be able to grow in 2021. One of the things about social media and social media marketing is that you have to be active. So there are some tactics that we're going to be talking about, in order to become more active and see the engagement and the results that you want. In today's marketplace, uh, you see now more than ever that people are almost in a pick me, pick me, pick me type of environment, especially with their advertisements. And I think that we're getting away from being one authentic, two value agents. So this boot camp is not a pick me type of situation. This is a okay, we're going to establish authority in who we are, how we can add value, and how we can stay on the top of minds of our clients and future clients, so that it is completely authentic and real at all times. But before we kick off, I want everybody to take a moment, introduce yourself, um, what brokerage you are with, and one thing you are hopeful to get out of our sessions.
Hi, I'm LaPerl. I'm with Realty One Group Universal, and I hope to be more comfortable and confident with this whole social media and branding, um, connecting with people through social media, coming forth, being more present.
Perfect. Thank you.
I am Dawn. I'm with Realty One Group Universal as well. Um, and I share some of the same concerns as LaCarol. I'm not that comfortable being present, period. Whether I like to be the person behind the scenes. And now I am working on being the face of my brand and just being able to reach out and touch more people um, by being more present through videos, content, etc. So that's it.
Hi, I'm Yvette. Um, I'm relatively new. I only had my license for 2 months, so I'm
Okay.
trying to create a brand from the very beginning of this profession. And I'm like everybody else. I'm not comfortable. I'm usually an introvert, so I'm not really comfortable being in front of a lot of people, but I'm willing to do what I need to do to be successful.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, hi everyone. I'm Eris, and I'm like Yvette. I'm very new. I've had my license for like 2.5 weeks. But I am.
Congratulations. Sorry. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm super eager about this new journey. So far, I've had nothing but um great support from my brokerage, which is Riker Realty, which I'm working with Mecca. She's awesome. She's actually the one who told me about this class. So I'm just hoping to get how to, I guess, um, specify exactly direct, like how to get the market that I want to attract. I don't have so much of a problem with being out in front of people. My thing is how to get my personality out to everyone through social media. Because in person I'm fine, but doing that through social media is totally different. So that's what I hope to gain.
I'm Tiffany Domnees. I'm with Execu Home Realty. I've been licensed for 18 years. Basically, my daughter is a friend of Austin's, and they have a great relationship in terms of marketing. I've never marketed. I've always done things based on relationships and word of mouth. So I have a decent presence on social media. I just don't capitalize on it. So I probably need to do a little more when it comes to posting and stuff like that. I've just been in this game so long, we've never had to do that. And times are changing, so you have to be able to change with the times, because there are a lot of new agents that are coming in and they're making it look like more than what it is, because I know, but that's what people are looking for. They're looking, real estate's always been based on perception, relationships, things of that nature. But now I know that I have to kind of change with the times, because I don't want to be left in the wind. So basically, yes, my daughter and Austin have been twisting my arm and making me do the right thing to kind of keep up with the Joneses, as the term you want to use.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mecca Lewis Shakur. I'm with Weichert Realtors, Diana Realty in downtown Bel Air. I've been an agent for 3 years. I think I'm going into my 4th. And like Tiffany, I've worked a lot with referrals. The majority of my business is military. I'm a military spouse. And so I work a lot with the APG community, people who are PCSing in and PCSing out. And so most of my work has been done through referrals and just my own personal page, but I want to develop my my business page more. I want to start doing more video, and I'm an extrovert, so COVID has hit me hard, friends. But I'm really looking forward to getting like better content and more content on my business page, kind of stepping up my marketing game.
Am I next?
You are.
Hi, and I believe based off of the comments that the question is what we're looking to get out of this.
Who you are and then where you're looking to get out of it.
Okay, great. Hi, I'm Monica Truesdale. Hello, everyone. And I am the broker of Realty One Group Universal. So my purpose here is twofold. It's pretty similar to what everyone else says. You have to stay relevant as our real estate market is changing. I too am what we call a veteran in the industry. I've been around 19 years and I have to stay relevant. So it's important. Second is I have a lot of team members on here and I want to grow with and for them. So I'm gonna always support whatever they're doing, and so that we can share the information and help our entire team grow. So I'm very excited about the opportunity. Austin, you know, we have a relationship and you and Richard are so amazing. But this way together, we're learning together, we're growing together. And that is very important to me.
And Monica, nice to put a face to the name. We've seen each other's names for years.
I know, Tiffany, when I saw you, I said the same thing.
Nice to finally meet you.
Likewise.
Great. So thank everybody. Thank you for sharing. Like I said, it's important to know what it is that you want to get out of it, because just like, you know, I'm happy that you're here. I also, like Brandon Scott, I want you to hold me accountable. I want to make sure that you're getting everything that you have in mind to get and receive so that you're able to grow. But listen to your responses. I'm 1,000% sure you're going to get that and more. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen, but you can also take out your guide. How the class is going to flow is, if you would like to fill out the guide prior to the start of class, you're able to do so. If you want to fill it out as we go along, because I know work is busy, that's fine as well. The only thing I ask is that you're authentic and real. You know, I think that everybody in here, well, I know everybody in here is coming, one, to learn, two, knowing that it's a safe space, and everybody who knows Rashard and myself, that's what we do naturally because we're teachers by trade. So we're always going to have an environment that is going to be conducive of learning and give you an ability to be able to share and ask genuine questions. So starting off with the top left, you know, what is your personal mission? You know, describe what your mission is with real estate. And I think that's very important, knowing what your mission is, because as you're crafting and creating content, your content should reflect what your mission is. So if your mission is to be high volume and get sales and get numbers to support a lifestyle, then you should say that. And then your content, the things that you're doing should reflect. If your mission is to put people into quality homes because you know what quality homes are able to do for families, then that should be your mission, because then your material is going to reflect that. And then next, if you haven't done so, start to jot down some of your real estate goals. There's enough space there for 8 real estate goals, but I'm curious to hear what some of them are. So as people are filling them out, is there anybody who maybe had already filled out and would like to share? If so, please feel free to shoot and do so. Because I'm sharing my screen, I can't really see, but feel free to share, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Austin, one of my goals that I kind of just realized after working with Eris that is a goal of mine is that I want to start mentoring new agents. I really love the process of helping agents to grow their own business and to become successful and kind of find their own space in the industry, because we all occupy a very different space. And so that's something that's one of my goals.
So then in your material that we're going to be creating and producing and you're going to do over time, you need to show them how display information that you are a teacher and a learner and a nurturer. Outside of, Eris, knowing Eris and you being in the same space, so she can automatically learn and know that. But if your goal is to mentor and find other agents who may not be directly connected to you that look like you, because I think that's very important, to note, as I look out into the crowd right now, that there are a great mixture of new agents and seasoned agents that can learn from one another that all look alike. So as we're doing that, I think that's very important to note and to be in a space. But that being said, the content that you're putting out should be one from like a teaching perspective as well, in addition to anything else that you do. Somebody else like to share?
I haven't written anything down, but Austin, we've spoken about some of the goals that I want to do in terms of just like Mecca said, that in terms of mentoring new agents. And I almost made a post about this today. A lot of people jump in this business and they see what they see on television and think that that's going to be reality. So basically, I wanted to, some of the things we talked about, maybe start something whereas we can sit agents down, talk to them in forums like this, and try to tell them, what the reality is once you get your license. So I guess I got my license now what? Where do I go in terms of a broker and so on and so forth? So those are some of the things that I want to do in terms of trying to mentor new agents as well.
Oh, perfect.
This is Yvette. Hi. Oh. Yvette.
Okay.
I really want to work with first-time home buyers. That's like one of my goals. And eventually, a couple years down the line, I do enjoy helping people and I would like to be a mentor. But for the immediate first-time home buyers.
All right. So Yvette, thank you for that, for one. For two, as we're sitting down and designing content, especially for week 2, because week 2 is about designing content, the content that we're going to design specifically for you is going to be around, 1, educating and informing, 2, crafting pictures and posts that look like first-time home buying houses. Okay. One of the things that almost grinds my gears, unless so some of the agents that I work with are in the South, like Tennessee, Nashville area, and their first-time houses are these single families with yards and things of that nature. But in the Baltimore metro area, it's few and far in between that you're going to see houses that are these 5-bedroom, 2-bath houses that are there. Now, the problem is when people are getting these templates that, either I refer out or, they're going in Canva, they're just using the stock images. So, we're going to talk about how to remix some of those templates so that you have pictures that look like what it is that you're trying to display, more first-time home buyers. Second, and one of the things we're going to talk about, I believe it's week 3, when we talk about like marketing and who to intentionally market to, we talk about these Facebook advertisements, one of the things that I'll share is, and raise your hand, and if you've already done this, trust me, I'm not trying to attack or anything, but how many people in here have been scrolling on Instagram and seeing the, are you looking for an agent, pick me pictures, versus knowing that, Yvette, you said you want to get first time home buyers. How many times have you seen an ad saying, hey, are you currently paying $1,100 a month in rent? If so, would you like to live in a house like this? And then finding a house that's in your market that you've already vetted with a lender, saying, hey, if somebody has average credit with, down payment assistance or whatever, can you tell me what price range they'll be? And they'll say, oh, with taxes in Baltimore City for $1,100 a month, you might be at, let me throw out a number, $170,000, right? So then using that information, find a house that's $170,000 that looks clean and crisp in the city or whatever area that you want to be, screenshot the photo and post it. And then run an advertisement, because now that's triggering somebody's house in mind saying, dang, $1,100 a month, I'm paying $1,100 a month. I can live in a house like that and own a house. Oh, let me swipe up to contact them. It's about shifting the mindset and shifting, what the expectation is. So when we talk about advertisements, which Facebook advertisements are not the boosted posts. I want to make sure that we also understand that too. And I'll be there to explain and walk us through. When we are strategic in writing the copy and the headline for an advertisement, you want it to be something that is going to stop the scroll of your potential follower. So Yvette, you wanting to be first-time home buyers, I would determine what the price point is going to be. Typically that's probably 130 to maybe 180, 190,000. Try to find homes in the area that, or general like zip codes that you like to sell to. Find houses that you think are aesthetically appealing, appeasing, look clean and crisp, and begin to highlight and showcase those type of houses on your timeline, in addition to your regular advertisement.
So, I also want to, one of my goals is first time home buyers too. I've shared that with Mecca, but mine is, I want to also, kind of start, or I don't know if I have to start there, but I also want to, work with new builds, in new build, communities. So, because I feel like a lot of times, especially, and I was expressing this to Mecca, a lot of my friends who just bought homes, down south, because I'm from Georgia.
Okay.
Well, I used to live here, moved to Georgia, now I'm back. Long story.
Okay.
That's a short version. And I'm actually moving back to South Carolina in September, and I was going to talk to you about that as well. But I wanted to, a lot of my friends are actually buying homes in new builds, and they, to me, one of their main reasons was for doing that was because they felt like it solidifies the whole new home. Like, this is my home, because I'm the first person who's been in it. And so I kind of wanted to take that and use that as a way to market towards first-time home buyers into new build communities.
Okay, so Monica, did we not just talk about that? And Dawn, I think you were there, but you guys left out LaCarol. So I think that more agents should be appealing to new build communities and leveraging and building relationships with them. Scheduling, whether it's video photo shoots to help promote, and running Facebook advertisements around that. I think that'll be beneficial, but we'll get back to that. But here's the thing: if that's your goal, you need to figure out the price point. So let's take Beech Creek, right? So in the Harford County area, Beech Creek, because I'm moving to that area, knowing that the new builds when they first started were anywhere between $230,000 and $270,000 for new build construction, right? So automatically, that you're appealing to usually a 2-income household. And that's based off of just metrics and data. That's not stereotyping. That's just looking at metrics and data saying that the average median income in the county is $60,000 and working with a lender. All right, so one, you're appealing to two income households. Two, typically, and you can use either research or you can use your own knowledge, who makes decisions in a two income household on the house? Typically.
The women.
The women.
Okay. So then your advertisement and your crafting has to be geared towards who then?
Women.
Women. So in your advertisement, it more or less should not include the numbers. If that's what you want to do, it should not include the numbers. It should include the features. Like, what are some of the features that would appeal to women typically?
Kitchens and
Kitchens
and storage space
and bathrooms. And bathrooms. So when you're running your advertisement, what pictures should you include?
All that were just mentioned.
And then as you're making graphics in Canva, I would suggest Canva because it's easy to use.
I started my Facebook page. I wanted to finish this class first before I released it, but Canva, okay. I've been using the stuff from Canva.
Perfect. And we'll talk about that. And in the guide, there's templates for you to download and we'll go through all that. But as you're in Canva, that needs to be either you're making a graphic with multiple pictures, or you need to make a slider, a carousel post that lists all of those things, because that's what's going to be appealing. And then your content needs to be around educating couples around the benefits of new construction communities.
Who'd you talk to, Roseanne or Mike?
Michael, that's my guy.
I sell a lot up there. That's why I just did 3 up there.
Okay, yeah, Michael, that's my guy. He's yeah. Midway through. Mm-hmm.
You'll like it up there.
But so case in point, right? So when it came down to it, I recently, got married, family got bigger, we needed space, right? So when it came down to it, because of my job and because of how, I have to move and operate, I let my wife kind of dictate where we were looking, but I knew number-wise, like where we needed to fall in order to be able to work, right? Mm-hmm. But the pictures, she got caught off the pictures just researching and knowing that. So knowing that and knowing that about research and things of that nature, that's who you need to appeal to.
Right.
Now,
and go ahead.
No, then I was going to say on the flip side, now, after you get that, a part of the conversation also needs to be about the financial benefits. So, if it's a split income, people sharing bills, blah, 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 you need to talk about also some of the financial benefits, such as lower utilities.
Right.
Talking about, how things are energy efficient, talking about, researching on the schools, talking about the cash, the cash that are going to be saved going into the deals. There are some builders in the Baltimore metro area, specifically there's one in the city, D.R. Horton has a community where they're giving like $20,000, $25,000 towards closing and upgrades. There's another Sage that's in Rosedale and they're giving like $30,000 to down payment and closing assistance. So knowing that kind of information in the back of your head, I would start running posts around those things.
Yeah, and also overall, everything that you said is just perfect. But also real estate, when you first and I'm talking to a lot of the newer realtors, when you first become a real estate agent, it's all about your sphere of influence. Who do you know? What are you gonna sell them? What price points are they in? Because basically with me, my price points are not always as high as Beach Creek. A lot of my price points, I sell in the inner city. I sell bank-owned foreclosures. And my average price is probably going to be under 200. Last year I sold 61 homes. by myself. I don't have a team, but I know that once I brand myself more, I could do a lot more. And that's just based off of relationships and my sphere. Like when Monica jumped on here, we automatically knew each other's name. We don't know each other personally, but just based off of real estate, I know Monica Truesdale. She probably knows me from just doing real estate for so long. So overall, you're based on relationships and your sphere is where you kind of learn how to brand yourself. And that's what I need you to do. Help me brand, because I don't know branding, but I do know real estate. So that's kind of what things that I want to teach going forward for sure.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
That's without question. All right.
All right, so my, I'm sorry. No,
go ahead, Dawn. I was
you
on the
mean.
list. Go ahead.
Okay, so my goal is to increase home ownership among younger adults, the
Okay.
ones that, you know, they want to get their first place, and most of them typically look to move into an apartment, etc. So just to like kind of shift their mindset toward buying their first property or whatever the case may be, and to also encourage community reinvestment by way of investing. So
Okay. So your market is going to be a little bit different. So here's the thing that may trip you up, right? Being an agent, one, your portfolio should speak to the environment in which you're looking to appeal to, right? So if your initial niche, first thing I would say is look to build with your initial niche and then begin to spin off. So if your niche is going to be those young buyers looking for home ownership, a lot of your content is going to be on educating them on the benefits and talking about like the Maryland Mortgage Program. And, you know, if they're not already like on the income-based repayment plan for their student loans, to get on one so that they can qualify for a mortgage versus going in deferment and then getting caught up on that 1% rule and, you know, things of that nature. And then once you get a habit and known for that, then begin to market and advertise. Now, I'm not saying that you can't go after the people who are looking to invest and reinvest in the community, but I'm saying the majority of your marketing should be directed towards one, so that the person who may not be ready to buy right now, when they look back at 3 months and 6 months, because really that's what your social media profile is. It's a portfolio. They'll always be able to look back and see a lot of the education and information that you're providing. All right, who else?
So my goal is to help buyers and sellers, and I know I probably can't save everybody or help everybody, but in my heart, I want to be able to assist whoever purchase or sell. I also, for me, it's big to help people know that they can be in a house that they can afford, be in a house that they're comfortable with, where they can enjoy their home and not have to work just to keep the home, but to be able to enjoy their home that they picked. And I also want to help people maintain a peace of mind throughout the transaction. That's really big for me.
Okay, so then your content, one, is going to be around how owning a home can allow you to personalize things and make things your own and not have to worry about checking and asking with somebody. I mean, because let's face it, if you're renting a home or renting an apartment or whatever it may be, you know, at the end of the day, you have to ask. You know, while they might say yes, you know, you still have to ask. Whereas with a home, you don't have to. The second part of that peace of mind, you're going to have to put out material about what it is that you do in the home buying process. So making graphics about the home buying process, coming and creating guides about the home buying process and what people are to expect throughout the home buying process. And that's something as simple as creating a home buying checklist. You know, we'll talk about that when creating content. You know, making a checklist showing what happens at each step, you know, part of the process, how you're there to always check back with them, let them know what's going on and be able to assist. will go a long way. You know, because buying a home is fearful. You know, people are putting out probably the largest amount of money they ever in their life, and they're scared and unsure. You know, when they rent a house or apartment, you're always able to point the finger at somebody saying, "Oh, you got to come fix this. You got to come fix that." When you own a home, only person you can talk to is you. So finding ways to educate them on the process would be the focus around your content.
Okay.
All right, the last two things we talk about, and we'll just take a couple of people because I want to make sure we get to the slides and stuff tonight, are understanding the key benefits of working with you. Now, and this is something that, you know, whether you are a new agent or a seasoned agent, you know, seasoned agents probably have their own, they have their own spiel and what they share already in their mind because they're so used to doing it. New agents, I want you to think about, and it's similar to what LaCarol had just shared. You know, why are you going to use me? You're going to use me because I'm going to hold your hand every step of the way. I know this is scary, and I know that, you know, there are things that you're not going to know, and there's things that you're going to be able to lean on me for. So for me, that would be a perfect first key strategy or key thing to separate you from other agents. And when you have this list of these 3 items, these need to be at front center in the stuff that you post. Not literally saying it, but displaying it, showing it. Does that make sense? All right. And then next, after you have those 3 things, you want to create a value statement. And your value statement is something that you can always say, whether you're on the phone with somebody doing a new buyer consultation, whether you're in a Facebook group in one of these Buy Black or whatever it may be, or if you're in the grocery store. You need to add a value statement. And that could be something as simple as saying, I will always add value by what? You know, when I first got into the photography game, you know, being new, I was always fearful of the photographers who already been in the game and had this and had that or whatever. But I said I would always be able to add value by showing people how to use their images so that they can make money. That's my value add. I know there are people who are published, like my cousin, she's published in all these wedding and bride magazines and known in the Baltimore Sun. But I know what my value add is. I'm going to show you how to make money off your images. In sessions like this and other sessions, I'm going to show you how to take your picture, how to input it into a graphic, make a copy or a headline, put it out there to then obtain a client. So as realtors, it's important that you have your value add. Whatever it is, you help somebody throughout the process, you field and answer all calls no matter what time of night is. Whether you're going to help them shop and find the best deal as far as rates because you already have those relationships with those lenders. You know, whether it's you're going to be able to negotiate the best on their behalf because you have great negotiation skills and are creative.
Okay. Okay.
You know, like one of the things, Tiffany, you had mentioned when we were talking on the phone a couple of weeks ago is, you know, everybody's big on these escalation clauses, right? Everybody's big on these escalation clauses in the market. And you were saying escalation clauses are pointless because if you know the house isn't going to appraise in the market for a certain dollar amount, then why are you doing an escalation clause? So what I'm going to do is X, Y, and Z in order to show the realtor and show their client that my offer is the best offer. It's that kind of value add is, you know, no matter what the market condition, I'm going to make you write the best offer because I understand what other agents and buyers are looking for. You know, it's that kind of value add in that statement that you want so you can always be able to ramble it off. And for the new agents who said, you know, they're sometimes fearful of being on social media and things of that nature, creating that value add statement is going to help you more than anything. Because at the end of the day, if you don't know what to say in a situation or you start to stumble, you can always fall back to that value add. And then what'll happen, that'll completely shift the conversation around what it is that you just said.
Can I run mine by you, Austin?
Go ahead.
All right. I said, no matter the situation, I will always add value by staying in touch. So
There you go.
via communication, I feel like it's extremely important to always be in constant communication no matter what. So is that
That's perfect.
okay?
That's perfect because that's something that somebody can, at the end of the day, fall back on. Because that's important to some people. They always want to know that they can always reach you, stay in touch, always updated. That's important. So that's a good value add statement. Good job.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else want to share a value add statement?
I will. One of my value propositions was education. So I have a few, but normally for first-time home buyers, I always emphasize in my buyer consultations, and then when we're spending time together, that I'm going to educate them through the process so that they are not just, not just being pushed through. And how I came to that, I have this real quick story. My niece bought a house so many years ago, and she wasn't a real estate agent at the time. And I found the house and I did every single thing for her. Like, she literally just signed wherever I told her. I didn't teach her anything. I just was like, here's a house, you're gonna buy it because that's what you're gonna do. And she later shared the story that's like, I don't know anything that happened because she did everything for me. And so from that, I realized that in first time home buyers, they need to be educated through the entire process so that they are making conscious decisions, because it's a big decision. So one of my value propositions or statements is I'm going to educate. You're going to be educated through the entire process.
That's perfect. That's perfect. And then by showing them how, they're going to be educated through the entire process. That's important. That's perfect. All right. So as we scroll down with starting your story, it's important to be able to share and tell your story to your clients because people buy from people that they like, know, and trust. So having a story and being able to share your story either on your timeline or your one-on-ones or on video. Video is important, and we'll be talking about that, next week is critical. So sharing, what kind of real estate do you focus on? Are you focusing on first-time home buyers? Are you focused on sellers? New build construction, investors, people who are upsizing, people who are downsizing, what it is that you focus on. Once you determine what that is, you're going to begin to describe yourself in 100 words or less. Similar to the value add statement, but you're writing it from a story perspective about who you are and what you focus on. And then from there, you're also going to focus on drafting it in 20 words or less. And the reason why is sometimes you don't get an opportunity to share 100 words with somebody. You may only get 20 words, especially like if you're in these platforms like your clubhouses and places like that, all you may get is 20 seconds to shoot your shot, so having both in order to be conversation starters is very important. So I'm going to flip from here now to the slide. Hold on. All right. All right. So tonight, when I said we're going to cover is talking about what your story is. We're going to determine your story so it's authentic. So some of the things we had already covered and talked about. Talk about creating goals for your story and determine your strengths as a realtor. We're going to talk about the elements of your brand identity. We're going to be covering, your logo, your hex colors, which is important, and images that connect and tell the story. And then we're going to begin to create our brand identities. So we're going to go on a couple of websites. I'm going to show you guys how to be able to create your hex colors, to be able to determine if you already have that. We're going to also show and display website for logo and logo designs. At a minimum, I would definitely say come up with a signature that can be displayed and used anywhere on your post or whatever that you need. And then we're going to talk about a signature ad creation. We're going to talk about, what kind of elements you should add for. So focusing on creating your story. So when you're creating a story, as I said before, people buy from people who they like, know, and trust. So you want to be able to connect with people on a personal level so people understand and know who it is that you are. So that's not always just posting real estate. If you are somebody who is, you know, a realtor in the Baltimore metro area. That could be something as simple as posting that you're at a local bakery or whatever it may be, dropping your location as well, like tagging the location in social media so people know and can see that you're there, and starting conversation starters. You know, so if you're a Starbucks fan, right, and you're in Starbucks and you're like, oh, I can't go anywhere without my Starbucks, 9 a.m. meetings, blah, blah, blah. Asking the question, what's your flavor, your favorite coffee flavor? And people will comment and you're interacting. What that's going to do is, one, you're going to play nice with the social media algorithm, which is now going to make your stuff more visible. Two, you're also going to be more approachable, so that if you ever see that person later on, you can say, hey, Stacy, you know, when's the last time you had that Coca Mocha latte or whatever? You know, clearly I'm not a coffee fan, but do you see how easy that can be? And what you're doing is you're notating, you know, those types of things. And on the reverse, you know, you're looking at and you're targeting, because you're always targeting your followers, right? You're targeting your followers to learn what are some of the things that they do. And if you see them at a restaurant, you comment and say like, hey, you know, what did you order from there last night? I'm thinking about going there in the next couple of weeks. What would you recommend? So you're starting those conversations so you can connect with people, so that as you are dropping these hints and things of that nature on your social media page, they now will feel more comfortable with you approaching and asking you questions instead of blindly just commenting. Because, you know, one of the things I think many realtors and others forget about is, you know, think about your own self outside of real estate. How often are you just going to comment on somebody's page that you don't know at all? How often are you on the street going to talk to somebody that you don't know at all? It's not going to happen, right? Everybody's looking at me stonewall. I don't know if we're frozen or everybody agree? Right. All right. So you're not going to do it. So same thing. You want to keep that. You want to keep that same basis and that same focus, you know, and what it is that you're doing, and you're going to start a conversation like that. People who they trust. So if you're going to always focus on doing whatever it is that you said that you're going to do. So if you're focusing on educating, you want to make sure that you're creating posts that are educating others and informing them, and then asking them questions about the education process. Always do check-ins. You know, you can do questions such as like on your story, asking people like, hey, what kind of content would you like to see? You know, what are some topics that you're unsure of that you would like me to post on? You may initially only get 1 or 2 responses, but then you post that piece of material, and whoever commented, you write down a note and you say, hey, you know, thanks for the suggestion. I made a post today all based off your suggestion. Let me know what you think. And then people who they like, you know, you want to post things that are going to make people like you. You know, it's one of those things where the more things that you can share and what is you do, like if you're a runner, you know, you can go ahead and run. You know, like Carol, you being, you know, a hair care professional for such a long time, I think sprinkling in some things about hair care, it will benefit your social media page. Because here's why. One of the things you said that with new build and first time home buyers is that women like bathrooms, right? So you doing like a short little mini tutorial in a bathroom, showing somebody how to do a quick something or whatever it may be, will now drive engagement to your page. And while somebody's on there, whether it be a reel or a video, whatever it may be, will now cause them to scroll to learn more about you. So leverage some of the things that will cause people to like indirectly to now view and follow your page. So what makes a story? And as I said, your post should be stories. It should either inform or be some kind of story or some kind of background behind it. You want to paint a picture. You know, social media, especially Instagram, is visual from the initial. It's a picture as you're scrolling. So the first thing you want to do is somehow create or make or craft a story that's going to connect with people, so you'll then be able to follow up. So listen, pay attention to Facebook groups, pay attention to people's social media pages. That's something that I do. You know, while I am commenting on my friends and family, I'm spending time at night searching hashtags for Baltimore real estate. I'll search the hashtag, click it, find other realtors, and just start casual conversations that have nothing to do with selling. Nothing. That's the last thing I want to do. And everybody on here, if you know me, you know the last thing I'm gonna do is push a sale. Like if there's something that you want, you will approach and have a conversation about it. But what I'm focused on is presenting value because I know that's what I can do, and I know that's what you can do. So just casually looking and having a conversation, saying, somebody said there was a home shopping or scrolling or whatever it may be on your Facebook timeline or searching for a realtor, finding something that they posted and say, hey, I see that your child had a birthday last week. What did you guys do for that birthday? Start a casual conversation. It's truly a 50-50 shot, but you have a better chance of being successful by trying to build a relationship than you do just shooting cold and blind saying, hey, I want to be a realtor. All right, so story element. So here's something, and I'll put in the Facebook group when we're done, is creating a story. So here are 5 different scenarios in which you can share out. One, you could do an introduction of who you are. 2, you can do a story about, actually, no, that's the next post. Sorry. You can create a story, one starting about an introduction to who you are. You're going to share a difficult time, whether it be in real estate, whether it be somewhere else. You're going to share how you overcame that situation. You're going to share 3 things that you learned from it and 3 things that can benefit others. Questions, comments?
Yeah, Austin, you mean this as like a continual type post or something
I'm
like?
saying on a regular basis. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to connect with people, right?
Okay.
So you're trying to tell a story. So you can start even from a basic level, right? So it could be something, a difficult time is not planning out my day. A difficult time is not planning out my day and somehow forgetting to take out the food to thaw before a certain time so that dinner was ready. How did I overcome it? I had to go out and buy dinner. 3 things I learned: to set an alarm, set a timer, or whatever it may be. 1, people might laugh, haha, and connect with me that way. 2, people might pick up and say, dang, I never thought about adding a timer or an alarm clock or things of that nature. And then if they see I did another story where I gave a value or information, things of that nature, that'll cause them to want to search back on my page more often. You're giving people things to expect, right? So if you're doing, that can be Eris's Monday moment. And your Monday moment can be around this type of flow. So what I'm just doing here is trying to give you a framework that you can follow. All right. So
and you said you're going to post that in the group?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Post in the group. Yep. All right. So are we good here? We understand the importance of creating a story. We understand the benefits of being able to connect with followers. We understand how to be able to begin to read some of our followers to learn and figure out what it is that they want to know or need to know. All right. So now the first part of branding, we're going to begin to create some of our branding elements. So I'm going to start off with colors.co. So colors.co is a hex color generator website, right? So for those who are not familiar with a hex color generator, is what it does is it takes colors that are complementary. What did you not? Hold on. It takes colors that are complementary and it displays them next to one another. So you can see if they are similar in nature or not similar in nature. Hold on.
Austin, can I ask a quick question? What's a hex?
So hex color. So what that is a code. It's a code sharing what the color that you are looking for is. So a lot of people say, oh, my colors are are black and gold, right? Black, gold, and white. Problem is there are 30 different shades of black and gold. So when Monica goes to, what is that, Image 360, in order to have her polos designed, because she says, you know what, it's going to be hot outside. I don't feel like wearing a suit. I want to wear a polo all summer. She now can't do that because her branding material looks different than her polos. Because her polos are rose gold and her branding material is old gold. So what we're going to do here is show you how to create a branding consistency in your colors so that when you go to Image 360 or you go to this person or that person to do your logo, it's consistent. You will give them one of these colors, right? So one of the first things I would do is I would tell you to go down to 3 colors. You can always go to 4 if you wanted to, but I would say go down to 3. So with the hex color generator, you have different elements here, right? So first thing you have is shades, because as I said before, there are different shades in different colors. So starting with black, you have your first shade here, and here's your lighter shade. Now it might not seem like there's a difference, but if you remember, the straight black was straight zeros. Now you have A in there. So that means it automatically is going to be lighter. It's adding another color element, which is blue, red, and yellow into it. It's adding a little bit of it. So with that being said, it's going to be different. So what you're going to do is begin to spend time in trying to select something that fits you and speaks to you. As you're going through, you're going to hit the space bar. And it's going to continuously show you colors that are complementary, right? So I'm going to start here with light gray. I like light gray. People in here probably like light gray, so we'll stay with light gray. So I'm going to go ahead and lock that, right? Then I'm going to keep hitting it, and everything else is going to begin to shift. Oh, I like this steer blue, but I want to see it over here. So you can click and drag it. I don't know if I want to see steer blue. Maybe I'll go a little lighter. Okay, I like that. So you have the ability to go up and down. So notice these two are locked. So the only things they're going to change are here. Keep going, keep going. Oh, I like this Oxford blue. Let me see. Switch over, go with the Oxford blue. I like that. Maybe, let me see, go a little bit darker. Let's now notice these are 2 Oxford blues. Look, that's one color, right? Same Oxford blue, different color. You see what I mean now? So I say to myself, you know what? I really like these colors. Boom. These are my hex colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the number and letter combination and the name for all of these. I'm also going to take a picture of it and save it. That way I know if something comes out, I always have it to save and go back to. Questions?
I have a question. Is this for like branding, or is this for would you use this like in your stories or on your social media? Because I know for myself and Eris, we're kind of bound by the Weichert yellow, black, and white scheme. But on my page, on my web page, it's a little bit different.
So break that down for me. What do you mean you're bound?
So like when we advertise, we need to use like the Weichert logo with
Correct.
the color in it.
correct. So my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you're advertising stuff for events, you have to do the white shirt, yellow, and gold. But you also have a Mecca logo. Does your Mecca logo? I mean, you already have that, so you're pretty much set. But does your Mecca like does Whiteker say that your Mecca logo had to be black, white, and gold?
No.
So
No.
that's what I mean. I meant more or less the Mecca logo. And when the Mecca does
Okay.
Mecca's quote of the day and Mecca's kitchen pick Tuesdays and things of that nature, that's where you would add your logo. I'm not talking about the advertisements that are bound by the Harford County Board and Maryland Board of Realtors. I'm talking about your everyday stuff. Mecca's out. Mecca has an inspirational quote. Mecca's going to throw her logo or her signature up on a post.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Austin.
Other questions? Where's Yvette? Yvette, you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
All right.
I'm good.
So Yvette, so this is off the rip. Yvette, Eris, if Eris is here, this is the first thing that you should be doing is spending time. And don't just jump on the first thing you see. Find the color combination that you have, screenshot it, save it, walk away, go to sleep. Wake up the next day, spend some time, find another combination. Screenshot it, go to sleep. Spend some time, send it to the friends, send it to some family, throw it on a couple images, throw it here, throw it there, and see if you really like it. Okay? Don't do it because, it's just a homework assignment. Do it until you feel comfortable with whatever it is. And the last thing is don't pick colors that necessarily you so I have a realtor I was working with, and she says, I grew up liking Minnie Mouse, so I want my colors to be black, white, and red. I said, that's cute, don't get me wrong, but do you think about, do you look nice in black, white, and red? Do you think about, do you want to wear majority of your things black, white, and red? Do you think about if you're scrolling, do any of those colors pop on a timeline, or is it going to look mute? I mean, these are things you got to think about. Now, don't get me wrong. If something is sentimental and means something to you, then by all means, I'm the last person to argue with you. But don't pick something because, I like, because that's what I like. Does that make sense? Any other questions before I switch slides? All right. So, one, we have the Colors Co. Next, we'll jump to Canva. So within Canva, depending upon one, if you have signed up for any of my other previous classes, I'll show both ways, one without the class and one with the class. So this is Canva Pro account. We're going to be going over it. Actually, no, this is my school account. Hold on. Let me go into... All right, so we'll be going into the Pro account and the benefits of a Pro account later, but one of the things you can do is type in logo. So if you just have a regular account or a Pro account, you'll have the ability to go through and see different examples of logos, to get different themes and different feels. If you see something that jumps out at you and speaks to you, then by all means, I would, go with that. One of the things I would pay attention to and I put on there is stamps, right? So stamps are important. I think stamps are important and creative because they give you ability to place things on different graphics. So like under contract, sold, Mecca's Kitchen of the Week, Monica's Bathroom Beauty, or whatever it may be. It's like you're giving a stamp of approval, and you can overlay this on the image. So creating a stamp, and all a stamp is a circle with a signature and your name in it, right? Second, you should be looking at creating a signature logo. And we did this the other night. Monica and I, where is it? Here it is. And it's something as simple as putting your name and what it is that you are. Come on. Oh, hold on. Why are they not doing it? It's definitely available. Canva's acting funky with me tonight, but for those who can see, I'm gonna try it one more time. Or is it because it's open over here? Let me try this. Um, As you can tell, I'm always in Canva. Literally every day. Just here. Here it is. Oh. All right, so something as simple as just taking the font, writing out your name in a little fancy cursive, and writing what you are. So you write your first name, last name, then realtor. You would group it together. So you can see it's two different lines, two different fonts. You will select and highlight it together. Click the three dots and group it. And then when it's said and done, when you hit download, you will download it as a PNG file in a transparent background. What that's going to allow you to do is export it as and have an invisible background so it's not white, so you can place it over top of something. So in theory, you export it, download it to the computer, then you'll upload it into your upload section within Canva, and then you'll have logos like this. And then let's say if this is a post, all you're going to do is click it, and now you see the logo with no background or anything will be over top of an image. Questions so far? All right, so that is 2. And then 3, when we talk about images, so photos are extremely important when it comes to graphics. You know, you can use them in multiple different ways. So one, I would definitely recommend, you know, finding a photographer that you like, know, and trust that has experience in doing so, because you can create wonderful graphics that help to tell stories. And when I say tell stories, I mean, one, not just using an image, like I'll even use some of my own content, right? So, took an image not just from a photo shoot, but from everyday life, right? Remember how I was saying, like, you guys should share, like, who you are as an individual and let people know, you know, some of the things that you do? You know, this is the perfect example. So, took an image from me speaking somewhere, I added my signature over top of the image, And then I'm adding value by providing a story around some of the things that I learned. These are the types of things that you can add into your social media profiles to add value to it, to break up some of the things that you have or some of the things that you're doing. So taking an everyday photo or a photo from a shoot or whatever it may be, and if you notice it looks a little bit different, that is because I added a white overlay over top of it. All right, so it's a white image. I took a transparency slider and then I made a little bit of chauffeur. So that adds a little bit of texture and mystery to the image. So it'll make you slide. Besides the fact that the pictures are popping out. And if I wanted to do a little bit more, oh, I locked it. I locked it. But if I want to do a little bit more, just hit the animate and then make the slide animate. Okay, that's something that you want to do. Internet's acting crazy, but it would all be the same image. All right. So let me get back to the graphic. So as we begin to wind down for the evening, one of the things, if you have not done so, as you're beginning to sit back and reflect, you want to add your key branding elements as you're getting them into here. So your slogan can be your describing yourself, 20 words or less. It can be your value add statement. It can be a combination of the two, but you should have a slogan or something that is your go-to saying or whatever it is. Second, you want to have your logo. This is the perfect place for you to sketch out what you want your logo to look like or your signature to look like or whatever that may be. Perfect place to be able to put it. You can put enough space to have multiple examples to be able to display. Your hex colors. You're going to put the pound sign and the numbers and the letter combination into here. You're going to determine who your market is, what your zip code, what your area is. That's going to be important as, we get into next week when it comes to branding. I think, was it LaCarol that said first-time home buyers? Or was it Yvette? Yvette, okay. So Yvette, first-time home buyers. So if your market is first-time home buyers in the Baltimore metro area, I need you to write that down so that as we're looking at creating graphics, you're keeping that in mind. And I'm showing you how to be able to take images from templates and be able to use them. You're going to write down your social media platforms. And then we're going to begin to write down hashtags. Actually, that'll be everybody. So one of the things I'm going to do also after tonight is put my, each month for my clients, I give them like a February guide that includes holidays, hashtags, points of focus for the month for content, things of that nature. I'm going to put that in the Facebook group for you guys to be able to look at. I want you to write down some hashtags that catch your eye. Hashtags are searchable terms now more than ever because Instagram has done another update to the platform. So you are now able to search by topic as well, not just hashtags. Previously, you were able to search by hashtags. Now you're able to search by topic, which is going to be groundbreaking. So we're going to talk about what that looks like within your platform and things of that nature. So I say that to say, begin to write down hashtags that either speak to you or you feel are directly connected to you in your marketing business. Something else that you can do at your own leisure is thinking about what got you started in real estate. That kind of topic can help you with your slogan. What aspects of real estate do you enjoy and what about being an agent makes you happy? You can create a vision and mission statement, how you're going to connect and how you anticipate on communicating with agents as well. And then our homework for the week is what elements are needed when designing quality weekly content. I want you to begin to think about that. Take time, scroll other people's pages, think about what are some things that are appealing and eye-catching for you. And then write down what your findings are after you research. Research meaning scrolling on platforms, looking at things, writing things down. Doesn't necessarily just have to be an image. It can also be video as well. So write down what elements are needed to design quality weekly content. We're going to be talking about that. That's going to be week 2's focus as we're getting together and designing things and looking to get better next week. Any questions?
Hi, Austin, real quick, when you talked about the hashtags, are you referring to hashtags that we've come up with or established hashtags?
I would say established hashtags. I mean,
Okay.
hashtags you come up with, you should only come up with one hashtag,
Okay.
if I'm being honest. Because the point of hashtags is to be searchable. So if you're like, Eris sells home is your hashtag, you want that to be searchable. So when people want to see other posts by Eris, they're able to always see it.
Okay.
Versus Eris sells homes, Eris sells Hartford, Eris sells cute bathrooms, Eris sells military. I mean, you're wasting hashtags at that point.
Okay.
All right.
Makes sense.
Excellent question, though. Any other questions? So I'm going to post everything into the group, including the link from tonight's video for those who need to recap or rewatch. Just give me a thumbs up if everybody thinks tonight's class was useful or helpful. LaCarol, wasn't useful?
It was very useful.
Oh, okay. I didn't see a thumbs up. I was getting nervous for a minute. I was getting nervous. All right. But no, so something that's extremely important is definitely the homework, because everybody's style and everybody's view is going to be different. So I think spending that time in researching and seeing what catches your eye is going to be important to help guide you when designing. You know, one of the things I'm going to show everybody is the ease of Canva and how, you know, while you may mess up on something, you know, you are always able to rebound and recover. So also real quick, I think it's in there. Hold on, it's in there. Yeah, all right. So this is page 10. On page 10 of the guide, you guys have the sample Canva templates that we're going to be practicing and editing and showing people how to be able to remix. Hold on, this is what it looks like. So after you click it, and I'll actually be adding some more to there. But these are the templates that are already in there for you to begin to remix and design. I'll add some more to that run. But yeah, no, be ready. Be ready to grow and develop and push yourself a little bit more next week, okay?
Absolutely.
All right. So thank you, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for attending tonight. And
Thank you,
be on the
Austin.
lookout. Definitely look out tonight. If not, if you're about to go to bed tomorrow, to get the video recap and the information from tonight. That's what I'm going to post in there. And over the week, you know, begin to do some of the work assignments, fill in some of the forms so that you're ready to go next week. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
guys.